Get this thing going. Welcome back.
They tease him a lot, black peas on the spot. Welcome back, 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 welcome back. 40.
All right, I got the logo down and the video up. Don't forget to support the original content on the channel. Also, if you want to check out my other channels, I have a family vlog channel, and I have Pegasus versus the World, where I do commentary. I'll link those in the description. But all the music and the music reactions happen over here on this channel. If you want access to the music reactions early, there's a link in my description. Gives you full access, big catalog of reactions that haven't been released to the public yet. And I update it every single day, so you can have some fun in there. Regardless, I don't want people to feel left out. Everything from the membership will get released eventually. So if you're patient, we're all good. Anyways, thank you for your support. Huge shout out to all the members. Let's get this show on the road. Now, we're checking this out. This is on Chris Williamson's channel. He did a full, as you can you see my arrow? He did a full podcast interview with Rick, and it just dropped. So please go over there and check out the full interview, because I'm sure it has some great, valuable insights. And over here, we're watching a clip that they uploaded that's about 8 minutes long. So I'm going to hit this with a like. I should be subscribed, so I'm going to subscribe. This is something, I like Chris Williamson's work. So, yes, we're going to get into this. This is Rick and Chris talking about AI bans and are they taking over Spotify, which is wild, you guys. This goes into like where we're at right now, like I'm a hip hop artist, I'm a rapper. So can AI really take over, your job as a musician, a rapper? Also with YouTube, the rise of faceless YouTube channels. That's really AI driven, from the scripting to everything. Would that take your job as a YouTuber? The only thing that the AI really can't do is the live performance, the in-person. But I feel like they tried to eliminate in-person, gatherings in 2020. So I don't know what is really going on here, but let's vibe.
We need to talk about AI artists.
Yeah. AI artists.
What's going on? What's going on? AI bans, AI everything. What's happening?
I think that one of the AI companies is testing whether people will accept AI music. I mean, Spotify has AI music that they're already pushing in playlists that get millions of views. A lot of it is kind of light jazz or atmospheric music and things like that. But now they have this thing I just made a video on about this band, The Velvet Sundown. That's purported to be a fake band that has AI looking pictures and AI sounding songs. I always have said in my videos, every time I've made many videos on AI, I testified at a Senate hearing in 2023, went to Washington. I was one of 19 people. It was a closed door session. They did 9 closed door hearings. I was in the 7th one. The first one, they had Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Zuckerberg. All these people were all the top people at these big.
About music.
No, this is about AI.
Right. Okay. I was going to say I don't think I care about Elon's music taste.
They invited me in with all the people, SAG-AFTRA, Spotify people for all these that worked at all basically all different interest groups, right? And then me, because I had made a lot of big videos on AI music. And one of my things that I said is that I didn't believe when they asked me questions, the senators asked me questions. I don't think that anything that's completely, fully generative AI should be able to be copyrighted. So that takes away the financial incentive for companies to go and put AI music out there to make money on it.
That's actually a really good idea. I didn't even think of that, because AI is already going to be super disruptive. So if you just look at statistically, who's in college, who's going to college, the college debt, and then you start looking at some of the degrees, a lot of things in administrative, there's going to be huge disruptions. Anything with graphic design, art design. Like there's going to be like, I'm in the industry, right? Even with YouTube, you have people making your thumbnails. As a rapper, you have people making your flyers, designing your website. All this can be done with AI right now. So all the people I work with, they're just homies. I still pay them as I'm in the profit. So I just keep my people fed around me. But if I was on the come up and didn't have resources, it would be really easy just to be like, oh, I'll just use AI to make all of this. And honestly, every now and then, I just did a big show at the Ford Amphitheater in Colorado Springs with Yellow Wolf. And they gave us a flyer, dope flyer, all this different stuff. But to keep the marketing going, I just took pictures from Yellow Wolf and the other performers and myself, put it in ChatGPT, the paid version, and said, make a cartoon vintage hip hop animation of this, make it look comic book style or Japanese animation style. And it just made it in probably about a minute. And it was fire. And then I just posted it. I mean, some of you guys saw the post. It's the one where, like, it's on my Instagram and YouTube and Facebook where I'm like this in a classroom, like, and then they're behind. It's like, and it's dope. Like, it's super dope. And that eliminated me having to go to someone and design a flyer. I could just do it instantly and keep the marketing going. Even though someone had been paid to make a flyer for the event, now I could just make something cool on my own with my own creativity too, my own ideas, but the creativity comes from the AI. But anyways, it's going to be super disruptive. And to make it less disruptive, I think it's called Suno, S-U-N-O. My homie Hypnotic took my song. It's on the channel right now. I'll probably switch it as the main song. I'm putting out a new video soon, but it's the Glitch Gospel. And we took like 6 or 8 bars, written bars, just text. And he put it into Suno and he just make this style of song. And with my lyrics, it made an R&B song. It made a reggae song. It made a country song. Whatever you type it in, it'll make it instantly with its own voice and cadence. It's actually kind of creepy, but then it's kind of dope. You're like, oh, this is what I'd sound like. If I was reggae and I tried to flip it this way, that's how it would have sounded. I don't know, y'all. It's wild.
If Spotify can put out AI fake artists and people stream it and they're perfectly okay with it, and then not pay artists that are getting streamed as well, because then that just increases the incentive for them to fill their playlist with fake artists, right? But now what's happened is that there's this artist that may or may not be fake, the Velvet Sundown, that has a verified symbol on Spotify, and they have a second record, even though there's no record of these people. Kind of looks like a fake bio. There's no record of these people. And they have another record coming out in 2 weeks, a second record. And
if you guys like these conversations, please tap in the comments. I know these aren't as big as my reactions, but if there is a bulk of you who are really interested in like these type of videos on my main music channel, please tap in right now, because I will do the follow-up on this AI group he's talking about on my main channel. I'm actually probably going to put this video on my Pegasus versus the World channel, because I think I reach a little bit different audience over there as well, and I'll just edit this up into clips. But sheesh, tap in for your boy.
No one's coming forward saying it's us. Now, if this was a marketing ploy, this is actually a very smart thing. But people are saying in the comments on the video I just made yesterday, well, these are all bots that are on here. It's got over 600,000 followers now on Spotify in a week. Went from 0 to 600,000. It's crazy, right?
Is the song any good?
Well, there's a whole record there. And I don't think it sounds good to me. It doesn't.
People are voting with their ears, though. Did you not say earlier on that ultimately it's a meritocracy here?
Yeah, and I think that people will embrace, like I said early on when you started seeing all these fake Drake videos and fake Beatles videos and all this stuff, that they were on YouTube, but with the voices of the young Paul McCartney or young John Lennon, whatever. And I said, eventually there's going to be the Beatles and the Beatles AI, and Prince AI, and Michael Jackson and Michael Jackson AI. There'll be songs that are trained on their music, on the multi-tracks that are controlled.
Yo, he's not lying. This is crazy. This is what he's talking about. This is the group. Can y'all see that? Velvet Sundown. And that's definitely an AI picture. And now I'm on their channel and they have pre-save upcoming album. Hold on. All right, I'm not trying to get a copyright claim for some AI nonsense. It's funny when you go check this out. Everything about it seems AI. Bro, we're here, you guys. We're actually here, man. We're living in the future. This is going to, man, I just don't know how this affects my children. All right, let's go. We here now. We here. Damn, this is crazy.
AI and Prince AI and Michael Jackson and Michael Jackson AI. There'll be songs that are trained on their music, on the multi-tracks that are controlled by whoever owns the publishing. They license this stuff out. And there will be people that say, you know what? I like Michael Jackson AI better than Michael Jackson. That's going to happen. That will happen. There are going to be people that like AI music and they're perfectly fine with it.
Should there be protections in place for artists to avoid AI bands, AI artists coming in and taking plays? Do you think that?
Yes, I'm going to answer that. Yes, we're going to let him talk, but I wanted to bring this up because it's already happening. Okay, they're using influencers or popular people online, image, likeness, and voice to run scams and send people to Telegram to run scams on them. And these other apps, they're already using AI to run scams. And as it gets more, as it progresses forward, it's going to, and so I think one of the biggest money makers is going to be like an AI company that creates protections. You know, I have a trademark. This thing right here is my black Pegasus trademark thing in the background, but I have a trademark for my name online and a bunch of things. And I feel like as artists, we are going to need to, you know, file for these protections. And then there needs to be some type of AI company that actually, you know, fights and doesn't allow these things. Like there shouldn't be able to be a Prince AI or a Beatles AI if they don't want that, right? Because you're taking our image, likeness, all these different things. So that's where it gets crazy though, because you hear these bands, like you can just take a real human band that kind of sounds like another band, you know, like you could give an example like, oh, you know, maybe Creed sounds a little like Three Doors Down, right? So it's like, well, what's the difference if AI sounds a little bit like Creed? This is murky waters, you guys, in my opinion.
Spotify should ban AI music?
Should they ban it? Well, there's so many workarounds with this. I mean, you can create your song via have AI, a completely AI prompted written song, and then just recut it. And then it's you doing it. It doesn't have all the artifacts. You have all the independent tracks and everything. And then who sues you? The Suno or Udio or whoever owns the thing. Hey, that's our music. Like, wait, no, it's not. I prompted it myself, and then I covered it.
Yeah,
like,
it's like the Spider-Man meme.
I don't even know what, you know, this. I don't know what's going to be done with it. I don't know how they can.
I think this is a great take. I think that's a really interesting one. Because if you're a real person, but 80% of the process is AI enabled, where does the line get drawn? You know, you can lock me in a room with some parchment and a quill and say, write 60,000 words, no source material, or I can prompt ChatGPT to do it all for me. Somewhere in the middle is where most people are. And some people are basically zero. Some people are essentially a quill, but then they've got source material. Ryan Holiday's got reams and reams of flashcards from all of these books that he's reading. I've become very obsessed with the idea of plagiarism versus inspiration, because very few ideas come from real first principles. You're so telling me that this was not inspired by anything? Well, when I look at the saxophone that you're holding it the right way up. You're blowing into the bit at the top and not through the bit at the bottom. So you've been inspired by all of the people that came before you that taught you how to play a fucking saxophone. Right? Like,
that's a great concept. Inspiration versus plagiarism. That's actually a really dope concept.
You're playing this thing in time. You're using the kick and the snare in a very typical sort of form because there's only so many. So everybody is inspired or educated by what came before them. And that goes all the way to, well, I read this book or I watched this movie or I listened to this song and I like that. And that made me think about this thing. So there's a wonderful line from William James that says, originality is just undetected plagiarism. And what we are seeing now is the veil being lifted on detectable plagiarism, right?
Hold on. I got to put that in my notes. Originality is undetected plagiarism. Originality is just undetected plagiarism. There's something to that. I need to put that in my notes. All right.
Which is not only is this a direct copy of something else, but it's a direct copy of something else masquerading as something original because it's been reconstituted by an AI. Some things are built for summer. Sunburns.
All right, you guys. That was a clip. I think he's going into a commercial here. I actually have to go watch the full podcast, but I think this was good enough to spark the conversation about AI. So here's the full podcast right here. It dropped a day ago.
I just saw this video of Beyonce the other night. She was up in the
car, and the car,
yeah, and the car started going.
Dude, could you imagine if you were the guy that killed Beyonce? Oh,
yo, these guys. Anyways, I'm sure this is an amazing conversation. I would love for you guys to go over there and check out the full thing. It's 2 hours long. A lot of the people on my channel are super fans of Rick. So I'm just hopefully, guiding you over to something you might not have known he has done because this is not on his channel. But Chris's podcast is super dope. And that clip, there's a lot of value in that. And I had thought about that because when I was in Belgium with Anthony Ray, we were with the homie Esh Plume, and we were playing a little prank. And I started writing these funny jokes about the homie Esh. And then when we got back to the crib, we put it in Suno and had it make a R&B song. And it's hilarious. And we're just doing it as jokes. But then I was like, yo, this actually sounds really good. So we started messing with the app that night. And I remember taking some lyrics from a song that I had already written. And then, me and Anthony Ray have this song called Ugly Boys. Y'all can check it out on my channel. We took our lyrics from that, put it in the AI and made a country song. And I was like, yo, this is actually kind of fire. Like, I actually liked it. And then I was just thinking to myself, oh yeah, this is like, so in rap music, this happens a lot. I don't know about rock or country because, I listen to it here on the channel, but I haven't been involved in like recording rock or country. But a lot of times in rap music, some of the bigger artists will have what you call a ghostwriter, meaning someone wrote the music for them. But beyond that, they do what are called reference tracks, because the person who writes it in a certain style and cadence. And this is where some rappers have been caught red-handed because sometimes the reference tracks leak and you hear the original writer saying the cadence the rapper's supposed to use, and then the rapper uses the exact same cadence and sprinkles their little on it. And, sometimes those get leaked, and then those artists kind of get ousted as, oh, they're not a real rapper, or they're not because some of these rappers are considered the greatest, but then you're finding out they're not writing their own stuff because these reference tracks get leaked. So what is the difference between you get on ChatGPT? And I think ChatGPT is not that good with cutting edge lyricism in rap yet. But I have seen it getting better, especially if you know how to prompt it. But with country music, you could be like, hey, write a country song about this, write it. It will write it. Then you can use your human brain to be like, nah, that's corny. Change the storyline to this. Make this more complex or abstract. Change the prompt. It rewrites it. Then you take those lyrics, put it into Suno, Suno will do all the heavy lifting. It'll get a voice, a cadence, a guitar riff, everything in seconds, and you will have a full song. And if it actually sounds hot, if you know what good sounds like, you hear it, you could take it and then replay it, replicate it, and then add your human sauce that makes it sound even better. Bro, he ain't lying. Everything he said in that last statement, I actually had thought about when I was in Belgium, and Anthony Ray was really showing me how Suno worked. See, the first time I heard of Suno, my buddy Hypnotic was like, just send me some lyrics. And then he sent me back. I sent him like 6 or 8 bars, I forget. And he sent me back like 5 different versions, like a reggae version, a R&B, just craziness, you know? In a matter of minutes, downloads that you're just like, what? I could use this for the intro of my show. It's crazy. Anyways, that was my first, okay. But then when I went to Belgium, I got to see it. Like, I was sitting there with Anthony. He was showing me how he's putting it in. And I was like, pause on the putting it in. But you know what I mean? Anyway, sheesh, that's crazy. I don't know. I'm not scared of AI. I actually use AI in my day-to-day life to help with certain things. But I try to balance it, because I've also seen some things where people that use AI too much actually, like, I guess, get dumber, because you start depending on it to think for you, to rewrite a text message, to rewrite an email, and there's little things if you stop using it, you lose it, you know the concept. Anyways, this was a great convo, opened up a lot of doors. If you want to see a few, not like, I'm not going to change the reaction channel to just, we're just talking about music all the time, but I think this is fun, and if you guys want to see it, holla at your boy. I'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you for being some man. 40 years down the road, back again. FUQ.